the UK, broadcasting around the world. You're listening to the Mic Drop Club, hosted by Douglas Hammond-Dishay. Message received. You do not need to know what you need. Just engage with the podcast feed. Providing weekly insights into cool stuff we've read, saw, did, or heard about what made us say, wow, eureka, damn, nothing is off limits. If it motivates and inspires you to reach your goals, then it shall be discussed. Featuring guest interviews from high performers and people of influence, and weekly awards for the best mic drop moment. This podcast is guaranteed to leave you pumped up for the week ahead. Don't just live life, make life boom.
That's right, people. Another glorious Sunday. Another time, another session of the Mic Drop Club with your host, Douglas Hammond-Dishay, co-hosted by the one, the only, the best kept secret.
You better say it.
Django in the house.
Hey.
So how you guys doing out there? Hope you're focused on your goals. Let's get to it. Now, this week has been rather seismic when it comes to like media activities. There's been quite a few bits and pieces that have piqued my radar, and we want to get into it straight away in terms of families, the family dynamic, because again, a lot of influential people talk about their humbling backgrounds, where they've come from and how that has shaped the way they view life and the way they've prioritized their goals. Okay. Yeah. So, there's, in relation to the biggest family in the UK, the family that is an archetype for family values for the whole United Kingdom, that is the Queen. Yeah. And there's no getting away from the media attention that Meghan and Harry have been having since they got together, since they got married, and since they had the baby. Okay. Now, we're not going to go into the undercurrents as it were, the big headliners, because you can really take this into the racial dimension. Yeah. But I want to take a look at families in the context that the royal family is a family. Yeah. If you remove royal out of it, they will function just like any other family that you have out there.
You're right.
Okay? Right. They have the highs and lows, the principles, the values, and outsiders join the family to become insiders. Yeah. Okay? And sometimes family systems can reject people coming in.
400-year system.
Yeah. It's a 400-year system, but if you take a look at the commonalities on families, and let's take a look at something that's in the media eye right now, the Meghan Harry dynamic, Sure. Essentially, Meghan has joined the royal family, So they have their own set of principles, values, as you quite right said, that go back even 1,000 years, royal etiquette, of course, the way they do things. Yeah. So if you, as a family, don't know or never have articulated to your children the values, the beliefs that your family is trying to uphold to, sometimes the children who become adults, they too go and have less focus because anything goes. Yeah. Okay. So just reflecting back on my upbringing, my family have very, very strong values, very, very strong principles, of which we all knew. Mm-hmm. Now, a principle essentially is your well-founded, proven way of doing things that work for your family. Yeah. These are your principles, your defining principles. Yeah. For example, does your family value religion? Yeah. Does your family value education? Mm-hmm. Does your family value hard work? Yeah. Yeah. So these things can form into principles that hold your family together. That's why on every street, in every country, there are families that are known for something. Yeah. Oh, that family up the road, they are miscreants. Yeah. They misbehave. The children are unhinged. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's Mr. Johnson or whatever the case may be. He is very forthright. He's a good role model. All these things. So we know that every family has these
like a certain function that they
as a certain function that's come about for a long period of time. So if you have not had the conversation, if you're still living under the roofs of your parents and you're not really clear of the values and principles that govern it, have the conversation.
Yeah.
Have the conversation. But essentially for myself, education was something that we value a lot. And you can see it just in society whereby an educated mind, not just book smart, I'm not talking about book smart as such, I'm talking about life smart, common sense in the sense of that is founded by the ability to be able to critically appraise something.
Yeah.
Without anybody saying to you, oh my God, I can't believe you have that view. Get out of the family and try and shun you for your belief system. As long as you can articulate it and you have the way of persuading, championing your argument, those things were valued. Okay. And in the context of, say, like relationships with Meghan joining the family, she would have come from a family herself that has principles and values.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would say no family has better principles than another family. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Yeah. Because obviously, of course. I mean, it doesn't mean that because they're royal family that they have to impose theirs and think that there's a greater. Yeah. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's just different values and principles. Yeah, how they move in it in terms of how they move about that. So
exactly. Yeah. So we quite rightfully saying on the show that no value supersedes another family's value. Yeah. They're just values. Yeah. You understand? What we need to be looking at is if you join a family. I'm going to rewind this a little bit. A lot of people when they are dating, right? They and this is me probably sharing with you a lot of things that go on within my side of the family and talking about the African heritage in terms of how would you introduce somebody that you're serious with in your family. You're not really serious about your partner, right? Your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whichever case may be. You wouldn't introduce them straight away to your father. Yeah. Or your mother. Mm-hmm. There's like a hierarchy.
Yeah, man. You gotta. You can't just come straight to the whole master. You gotta go through the sisters first, and go through past that until you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so. And why is it that we have the hierarchy? Because from my background, it's basically because to get to your father and your mother, they want to know, should they invest time in getting to know your partner? Yeah. So they have like firewalls set up, gatekeepers, whose job is to filter out the noise, filter out the ones that don't need to pique their radar. You understand? Because the worst thing you want to be is a mother or father constantly being introduced to people. You don't you just want to know when you introduce somebody, this is serious. Yeah. Right. And so everybody has roles to play in families. Yeah. Right. And you can see quite clearly the royal family, and they're talking about the line to ascension, the line to the throne. Yeah. And how Harry is removed from the direct line to the throne. I think it's 6 removed or something like that. Yeah. If I'm wrong, send me an email. Yeah. Info might drop.
Write down in the comments.
Write down in the comments to send me. But he's not in direct line to the throne. That doesn't mean he has no role. And we see this a lot in mental health. We see it a lot in families whereby children, depending on where they're born and the gender as well, they might come out with, I'm the leader of the family because I'm firstborn, stereotypically. Yeah. I'm the youngest, so then I have preferential treatment. Like you could treat me specially. Yeah. I'm the only boy. Hopefully we get rid of that. I get special treatment. I'm the middle child. I have no role. I'm lost. I do what I want. You see how these roles have played a part, particularly when you grow up. But essentially now, if you're looking at bringing someone in the family and you're introducing them to an auntie and uncle, that was based on them knowing their role first and foremost, and seeing and understanding your future role in your own family and saying, is that a good fit for you?
For sure.
Because, when you're young and you got your hormones playing up, all engaged, firing on all cylinders, you look for different things. Mm-hmm. The whole point of having the elders look out for you, they're not looking out for the same things you're looking out for. You're still maybe consciously focus on physicality. Yeah.
What are the core principles of this person? It's funny that you say that because in my tribe, we don't marry outside our tribes. Like we don't marry. So it's like anybody from any other country or anything like that, I cannot do that because they do that in a system of like, when a woman comes in, like say for example, I'm finding a woman now, yeah, and when a woman comes in and I'm introducing her to my parents, like literally my parents have to find out what happens in their own families. Understand? I can't explain the obviously like how we go about it because obviously it's my language in the sense of like how we do it. But they find out the character traits of the families. You understand? Are they good people like in morals? You know what I'm saying? Are they very educated? You know what I'm saying? Do they get angry? Do they get? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like my tribe in a sense like they're very scared that the other family will their traits will actually it will affect the children that I'm gonna bear.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's crazy how, in a sense of like, the Prince Harry and Meghan situation, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to compare it, but in a sense, it's like the royal family is looking like, okay, like you're trying to disrupt the 400-year system that we've trying to build here with obviously like with your antics of trying to say that I want to obviously like live my own life. You know what I'm saying? But this is a 400 system. So yeah, back to, I'm not trying to digress, but obviously
it's a very important point.
Yeah,
I totally get that, and it's about continuity. Of line. It's like inheritance.
For sure.
You know, people. Remember, if you look at relationships, the crux of people getting together, the real crux of it is to the continuation of your bloodline. Yeah. Families have to continually grow. Okay, this is why this is the backrock, the bedrock of a relationship is to facilitate life, children being born, and the continuation of your line, as it were. I know people have now civil partnerships, civil arrangements where they say, "No, don't need to have children," all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to say, if take a look at the global situation, why people get together. Globally, at least, at the global level, yes, there are exceptions to the rule, but the vast majority of people, they look and view relationships based upon the premise that you're going to have children and have continuity. So when we look at the royal family and what's happening, the Queen, she's getting to the age whereby she's thinking about successors. And so roles now are becoming more acutely defined. Like who's going to do what and how capacity. Is it going to be Prince Charles going to be King of England? Or are they going to pass Prince Charles and go to William as king? You know, all of these things are going to be discussed at some point. And I believe that the whole Meghan situation, it brings that to the fore of these roles now. Quicken that process.
Also, do you think the Meghan situation it really awakened something like what's?
I think so because let's be frank. If you remove the spin of media, and depending on which tabloid you read in the UK, you can say you're pro Meghan or you're anti Meghan.
Sure.
But the whole point, what we're saying here is whether or not you like her or not, she brings a sense of. She brings to the table her own values, her own principles. It's about, does that stuff, does those qualities complement the royal household?
You know what?
That's what it's about. Because it's about complementary. We talked in another video, another podcast about relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, and whoever your relationship with, that find somebody that complements your core capabilities, your principles, and your values. Complements, not the same. Complements. Salt, pepper, completely different chemical wise, but they complement any dish, right? So you find somebody that has those principles. So the royal family, as you're saying, has years and years of esteemed history. Is somebody coming to complement that? Or are they coming to change that? And change can be frightening.
In a sense, like, now that you said about that, it's like, does Meghan obviously like complement what has gone on from this 400-year tradition? In a sense, I would say, like, to their preference, no. Because obviously, like, she comes from society of like free thinking. I'm saying she's a free thinker. She comes from a side of free thinking. Even though that she has family value, like we said, the royal family is 400 tradition programmed. They move like they are programmed. I'm saying they have to move a certain way. There's no choice. Either move this way or just don't move at all. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, like I would say like the Meghan on their preference of like the royal family, she didn't compliment that because obviously like she felt like she has her own life to live. You know what I'm saying? And obviously due to obviously like Prince Harry, Harry, in a sense of like looking at the mother, like Harry is basically like his mother, in a sense of like Diana was a very free thinking person, a very free spirited. You know what I'm saying? And we're seeing this in Harry. And then Harry's like, you know what? I really want to try this. I want to be my own person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, like the royal family, in a sense, they don't think for themselves. You understand? They have to move a certain way. Yeah. And if you know, I understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think just to add to what you're saying and bring it back to the conversation, they're still a family.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And there are many families out there that have the same rigid structures. Yeah. It's just not in the public eye. Yeah. It's just not in the public eye. You're right. Because if you go to say, for example, on a village level, where people don't marry outside of their village, they're very linear, in terms of their way they view life, very linear. They cannot see the global picture because they're not traveled. Yeah, if you're you live in a village, and the perimeter of your village is say 5 miles by 5 miles. Yeah, that's it. You don't know what's 10 miles. You don't know. Yeah, so a lot of your values and principles will be governed by maintaining that which is within the perimeter of your culture. So you don't know. So you have to ask questions like, what do they eat? Do they eat people there? Or how do they dress? Will they show us up? Do they dress naked? How do they dress? Yeah. What do they think about? What God do they pray to? Yeah. What do they laugh about? How do they bury their dead? What music do they listen to? Yeah. Yeah. What food do they eat? Mm-hmm. These things can bring about a lot of anxieties, particularly when people date, outside of their culture. Yeah. Yeah. Because again, culture is the sum total of people's activities. Yeah. And this is what's happening here. People are not, you can see from the wedding of Meghan and the wedding between William and Kate.
She showed off the get-go.
Yeah. It's different. So it's different, yeah. So people can embrace difference or people can run away from difference. Yeah. And, the whole point of being in a family is first and foremost for you to add something to the family, because no matter what, families can be big, families can be very small. Yeah. And we're seeing now, particularly in mental health, my background is mental health. I'm seeing it more and more and more, how big families turn back into very small families. Why? Because people, particularly now in the modern age, the information age that we're living now, people leave their homestead to go and work in the smog. Yeah. You could be up north, you could go work in London. Yeah. Now you're being exposed to a lot of things. Lots of cultures. Yeah, London has probably 7 point something million people in it. It's like its own country. Yeah. Yeah. So therefore you'll be exposed to lots of stuff. Then you take your learnings and lessons back up north or wherever you're coming from, and you're going to upset that system. You're going to potentially shock the system. Hence why families need to learn to compromise. They need to compromise. You got to compromise. Yeah. You got to be able to compromise, and you're going to have difficult conversations. Yeah. But it's important that your principles, your values are articulated to their children in a way that it goes beyond just verbalization. Yeah. Sometimes, when you walk in someone's house, it'd be nice to just see a mission statement. Yeah. This family believes in education, respect, loyalty, all of these things. Yeah. And if you don't abide by these principles, don't come into our house. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Them type of core values in there, those are great. You understand? But when you have the core values that doesn't even make sense and won't allow a person to progress, those are the ones that need to be cut out, man. That's what I think. Yeah. Those are the ones to be cut out. Yeah. Because I feel like obviously like the topic is family, but and obviously like we're building from the royal family.
I just feel like, I think the royal family could have just sat down and just really analyzed, okay, like the type of core values that we believe, is it really worth it to really cut out our beloved? You get what I'm saying? Is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, and sometimes again,
I mean, it should have went to the media like that. This should have been an in-house thing that could have been brushed out real and quick. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a 400-year rule, but obviously, like, if you have a certain member that you love, obviously, thank you. If you have a certain member, obviously, like, that you love in your family, do you understand? You got to think about all this.
Solve it in-house. And the good thing about this conversation is we're using the royal family as our true north, because they are the pivot. They're the pivotal family that define British culture. Yeah. Right. So we've taken a look at all our families. Yes, we don't have media, the majority of us, that govern our every move or articulate the things that we do and express, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have it. Yeah. But we all have family members that do that for us. Yeah. Because that's where gossip comes from, essentially. Yeah. You bring home somebody that goes against or looks different to your cultural norms. Yeah. I guarantee you might have a cousin, an auntie who play the role for the media and broadcast that out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in a positive way or a negative way. So just because we see Meghan and Harry going through this situation, it does not mean there are things that are happening within that family that are not applicable to all our lives. Yeah. All our lives. True. Because if you take a look at, and I'm going to read it out, you take a look at the Queen's statement in full. Now remember, this is after 2 years of the Meghan debacle that's been going on. Yeah. But this is a statement, and this might allude to the conversations that they're having in the family, right? Yeah. It might not, but I'm just going to read it out verbatim, yeah? Following many months of conversations and more recent, following many months of conversations, and more recent discussions, I'm pleased that together we have found a constructive and supportive way forward for my grandson and his family. Okay. You see? Yeah. So my grandson, would suggest, as actually the word "my" means belongs to me. Yeah. So she's taken ownership of her grandson. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And his family is secondary, right? But that's just me maybe thinking too much. Yeah. But she's definitely loving her grandson. Yeah. Yeah. But I know, but I see what you're saying. Harry and Meghan and Archie will always be much loved members of my family. Yeah, remember, she's a mother. Yeah. The Queen is a grandmother. Yeah, right. I recognize the challenges that they have experienced as a result of intense scrutiny over the last 2 years and support their wish for a more independent life. Yeah. Boom. That is it. A lot of people, the Queen, I love her to bits. Yeah. I'm pro-royal family. Yeah. And one thing you can read into that is she has now acknowledged all along that Meghan was under a lot of scrutiny. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not the average family you're trying to go into. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of expectations. But equally so, if your family has no expectations of the people it allows into it, maybe it's not a high performing family you're coming from. Mm-hmm. But if you've got a family that has its values clearly articulated, there will be scrutiny on the person that you're bringing in. Yeah. If your family does not scrutinize the person joining in your family, has no values. Yeah. Anything goes. Anything goes. You need to have scrutiny. Yeah. Not anyone can join your family, because once they know it's difficult or they are going to be looked at, they will think twice themselves, and that's important, because you don't want anybody just treating your family as if you're drinking a Diet Coke. It's just vanilla. There's no substance behind that, So I'll continue. Yeah. I want to thank them for the dedicated work across the country, the Commonwealth and beyond. And I'm particularly proud of how Meghan has so quickly become one of the family. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a very powerful, empowering, enabling, liberating statement that the Queen has just put out there.
For sure.
Yeah. It is my whole family's hope. Yeah. Whole. Holistic. Yeah. Not partly, some, no, my whole family hope that today's agreement allows them to start building a happy and peaceful new life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And for that.
But I didn't even see this statement.
Yeah. For that, the Queen deserves a mic drop. Yeah. Whatever views that people have. And again, we've deliberately, and we're not going to go on racial profiling or none of those stuff. Because
it could go there quick. So
we could go there, but that's just one of the protected characteristics that Meghan has. She is mixed heritage. She's a woman. So there are so many things that you can pin on her outside of just race anyway.
Yeah.
And she's from America. Mm-hmm. So like I said, if you look at your family values, and if your family values are based upon very linear ways of viewing the world. Remember, the world is global. It's around, it's a sphere. But if you only focus on the perimeter of your little village thinking, she could be anybody, any color, any gender, and she still will have problems joining your family because your family are rigid. They're not flexible. Yeah. They're stuck in some sort of way. If they're fearful of continuity or bloodline, they're fearful of loss of wealth, all of those things. Yeah, which at the end of the day, a lot of families do fear that their wealth is going to be depleted. That's why they hold on to things. So it's interesting to take a look at her statement. Yeah. How did that make you feel, Django?
Okay, how did that make me feel?
After you read it, just your initial reaction. Don't go deep.
No, obviously, like she's really embracing, obviously, like in terms of what they're trying to do in it. You understand? But obviously, like I'm just saying, did she really write that though?
No, you don't know.
We don't know innit? I'm saying, did she really mean that from her?
This is her statement. So
that's her statement.
You have to accept it. Yeah, from that point of view.
I mean, I have to accept it because obviously that's what she said, and that's what she said in it, and it sounds good, and obviously like in the public eye, right? I'm saying in a sense.
Exactly. Now, if we are openly unbiased, yeah, and you could take a look at that statement and look at people in your own family that have failed to join your family, because the mother, the queen bee in your house, the household, yeah. Particularly my family, we have not accepted every single person that's come into the family. And we've not been so gracious and write a statement like that about them. Am I being real? Am I being real out there in terms of what goes on in certain families? Yeah. The back chat that goes on. Yeah. The vilifying of certain candidates, both male or female, that wants to join a family. I know family members that are destroyed. Our families are destroyed, and they say, our family values are destroyed because this person came to family. Listen to me. Your family is never destroyed by who comes in. They just expose what's already there. You understand? Your family doesn't get destroyed by anyone joining the family. It gets destroyed by those people exposing what's already in your family. And that brings about shame, embarrassment. And shame is one of the lowest forms of states of being. You know, shame. If you talk about shame and go back to biblical times, you're talking about being naked in the Garden of Eden. Yeah? That's shame. That's the lowest function you can be at. So nobody likes to feel shame and exposed like that. So the whole nation now feels ashamed. And I'll show you how they feel ashamed. And this is how now from the statement from the Buckingham Palace now. See, I'm going to show you the difference in terms of now the governing body.
Analyze it, Dr. Agodi. Analyze it, Doctor.
Okay, right. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are grateful to Her Majesty. So now they're being known by their titles now. Yeah. The Queen Mother, the Queen, she was talking about them on a personal level. Harry, Meghan, Archie. Yeah. Now the palace, doesn't refer to them in that context. They're referred to as their titles. Yeah. So so now they're depersonalized. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. The Duke and the Duchess of Sussex are grateful to Her Majesty and the royal family for their ongoing support as they embark on the next chapter of their lives. Mm-hmm. As agreed in this new arrangement, they understand that they are required to step back from royal duties, including military appointments. They will no longer receive public funds for royal duties.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's written like solicitors. You know what I mean? There's no personal view, no personalization of what they're writing. Yeah. With the Queen's blessing, the Sussexes will continue to maintain their private patronages and associations. While they can no longer formally represent the Queen, they cannot think about this. They can no longer formally represent the Queen. Yeah. And that includes Harry. Yeah. And that's his grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just saying, quite frankly, I love my late grandmothers, both of them. They were legends in our family. Yeah. And no matter what I do, I always represent them. Yeah. Yeah. So while they can no longer formally represent the Queen, the Sussexes have made clear that everything they will do continues to uphold the values. See, we're talking about values here.
Yeah.
Of Her Majesty.
Yeah.
You understand? So look into your own family and look at who sets the bar, who sets the barometer, who measures that in terms of the family values. You can't all be the same. There's somebody in your family that has that barometer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
And they look up to that person.
Yeah.
As you know what? That's the head. Yeah. Whether you're female or male. Just look about that and look at the values that they uphold and ask yourself, do you marry that? Do you complement that?
Mm-hmm.
The Sussexes, that sounds so wrong me saying, but it's just how it's spelled. Yeah. We'll not use their HRH titles as they're no longer working members of the royal family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And for considering what Brexit was essentially about, no, one of the currents of Brexit was this whole notion that we don't want to be paying for something that we're not getting value out of.
Okay.
You understand? Sure. We don't be pumping all this money into Europe. You know what I mean? They take more than they give back to us and all that kind of stuff. So people should be happy about that. People who are thinking, you know what? Now we're not paying for them. You'd have thought that people will calm down and back down because now they're saying, look, we're not going to be giving you money. Do you understand? So anybody that doesn't like freeloaders, sometimes people refer to the royal family as their freeloaders from the state, even though they bring a lot of value to the country. They bring a lot of tourism that generates a lot of money for the country. You understand what I'm saying to you? They still look at them as freeloaders. Yeah. They play a massive role in this country. Yeah. So people should be happy. The reason why people are not really best pleased, it goes back to shame.
Mm.
It goes back to the embarrassment of the whole situation that why did it get to this stage now whereby Harry and Meghan have to leave, detach themselves. Yeah, you understand? No. It exposes that. So as long as that is there, Harry and Meghan are always going to be talked about until the country has a deeper conversation
and understanding
with itself in terms of are we accepting certain things out of the media? As you said before, Harry and William and Diana went through a lot of issues with the media. Yeah. Sure. And the way Diana was portrayed in the media
until her death.
Yeah, up to her death wasn't the greatest. It was disgusting. You know, but we don't need to go in there. But I think all of those things do play in the minds. Yeah. And they changed that when she was gone.
Yeah.
Once she was gone, no longer here, you know, she was then the media was all different in terms of no, she was a fantastic woman, the people's princess, and all of these things were coming out, but she was vilified in the press for a long, long time.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying in a sense of like the what this obviously that this situation done to the country. I feel like, you know, the country is more awake now. I know we're not supposed to go there, but I have to go there because it's in the news like that, in a sense of like underlying racism. Understand? It's you know, the England is known as like a country of multicultural people. You understand? So it's like you wouldn't expect. It's like you just wouldn't expect. Okay, racism being in your face like that, but it's underlining there. But I feel like, you know, this whole situation exposed it in a sense of like, okay, there is a sense of racism in the country. But what I like about the country right now, where is that right now? I'm just hoping that they just take, you know, advantages in a sense of like, okay, where can we move forward from this, innit? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it that was in a bad way, that trying to throw like racism tantrums, but it's in the media. Do you understand? Yeah. That was part of the forefront of the things that was happening in the media, in a sense of like a race. Do you understand?
Yeah. So obviously, and you rightfully pointed that out. And we bring this back again. Don't think what happens to the royal family doesn't happen in your own family.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So everything that they've gone through and embracing people or Meghan for her background, it's no different from the person next door to you right now. Mm-hmm. The undercurrents of Brexit itself, people could argue that it had racial undertones to it.
That's true.
You don't want people of different backgrounds coming into your country, stereotypically taking your women, taking your jobs, all that kind of stuff. But it's that. That's what we're talking about. So we continue to the rest of the last two paragraphs. Yeah, I think so. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have shared their wish to repay sovereign grand expenditure for the refurbishment of Frogmore Cottage, which will remain in their UK family.
That's in Windsor, isn't it? That's in Windsor.
I think so.
Yeah, so
I think so. But then that is bold. Yeah. You know, particularly when you're not in line for the throne. Yeah. That you want to demonstrate some independence. It's almost like they're getting backlash. No matter which way you do it. You understand? You stay in the family, put up with all the criticism, look up with the scrutiny. Even the time when she decided to open the door for herself, she was ridiculed for that because she's not supposed to open the door for herself. She has to have the door open for her. So little things can be blown up proportion. But essentially what they're saying is let's be independent. Yeah. And I think as we look towards the new monarchy that will come, yeah. Right now, people can be complaining and upset and all that kind of stuff.
It will get better. I think it will get better.
But I can assure you, in terms of funding, you know, the UK funds for lots of different family members of the royal family that are not even in line to the throne. So when the Queen hands over the baton to maybe William or Charles, I guarantee you, they will start streamlining some of those funds. They'll start streamlining because they'll say, do you know what? We need to operate in a far more modern way of doing it. Because although the royal families had a way of doing things for hundreds of years, it wasn't like that for hundreds of years. Yeah. It will evolve to how it is now over hundreds of years. The whole point is it's evolving. It's constantly changing and adapting because people want to accept different things. The Queen doesn't always ride in a gold carriage with a crown on her head. Yeah. She won't go to another country like that anymore. Why? Because perceptions are different. People now are woken up and want to be treated as equals, essentially. You see what I mean? True. So Buckingham Palace does not comment on the details of the security arrangements because even after all of that, the media still looking for something to point holes at.
Yeah, that's a bit sticky though.
Right. So security, security. Now they're still taking money somehow. Yeah. They won't be happy literally until they're naked. Until you say, we don't pay for anything. We don't even want to see you. Because this is what it comes down to. It's shame.
We don't want to see you.
It's not, literally, that's what they're saying. That's why they have to make a statement about it. Because realistically, you shouldn't have a statement regarding security around, check this out, somebody who's the brother of the king, the future king. There needs to be security arrangements around that individual.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
But we have to make an issue. Yeah. So Buckingham Palace does not comment on the details of security arrangements. There are well-established independent processes to determine the need for publicly funded security. And we have that for non-royals. Mm-hmm. We have it for state visits from other leaders. We have it from celebrities. Even your D-list celebrities on the D-list shows, have to have some security around them.
I just think, man, like that they should have like at least. I know they're not quote unquote they're not gonna be part of the family, but because this is the Queen's grandchild now, allow the child to have at least royal, like obviously, like in terms of security.
You need security.
In a sense, you need security. Come on, that's
exactly.
Okay, that's just Harry. That's Harry and Meghan. It's Harry. It's not like just anybody that just is going to in Canada to go and live there. You understand? Yeah. That is like a royal, like, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly. So
I feel like they need to pattern that out. They need to sort that out.
And when we say they, we're just talking about the media.
The media.
We're talking about the media.
Oh, okay.
Because,
the media specifically.
The media specifically. That's why the Buckingham Palace had to respond to that, because the media was like, after Meghan made that statement, a lot of people would have said, okay, fine, we washed our hands off the situation. Okay. They're going to be independent. But they're like, no. How about the security then? Who's going to cover that?
Oh, this is the media perception. Okay.
Yeah. So they have to respond.
They did say they're not going to
They have to respond to that, in some shape or form. So this new model will take effect in the spring of 2020. All what we can say on the behalf of the Mic Drop Club, is we salute the royal family. We support Harry and Meghan and baby Archie on their new voyage.
Archie.
And we are acutely aware that essentially this is all about families. And we need to take a look at our own families. If it happens to them, it can happen to you. Because who knew that what happens to civil society, i.e. peasants like us, subjects, to the crown like us, who have all these challenges with people coming into the country, bringing new food that stinks up our kitchen, bringing new music that makes us dance funny, bringing new cultural diversity. Who knew that this could actually land on the doorstep of the royal house itself? And this is what it's all about. What happens over there, what happened over here, it doesn't really matter. We're all is one. We're one people on this planet. We're all trying to get along. There are better, more important things that we need to be discussing, such as global warming, taking care of our planet. These are things that we want to hand over to our children, not this stupid bias. Yeah,
for sure.
Take a look at your family values. Have the conversation with your family. Mic Drop Club.
And I just want to say, Mama, I want to marry who I want.
We out.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to check out micdropclub.com and get the show notes and useful links. Subscribe to the podcast. Don't just live life. Make life boom.